10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Glass FM, your number one radio station.
As much as it pains me to bring my personal life to the public space, this is an unavoidable situation. After much deliberations, my wife and I have made the difficult decision to end our marriage. As we move forward separately, we will continue to work together to give our beautiful children all the care, love, guidance, and support they need. We humbly ask that you respect our privacy as we navigate through these times. Thank you. Those were the words of Nigerian comedian Basket Mouth, whose real name is Bright Okpocha. Welcome to another exciting edition of your number one relationship and movie show, Hearts and Flicks. And I am your number one boy on radio, K to the E to the LLY. And unfortunately, I'm not here with the Black Diamond herself, Nirot Kidgak. And she's unavoidably absent, but she sent her apologies. And today on the Heart and Flick show, for the relationship segment, we'll be talking about divorce. As you just heard, I just told you the words of Nigerian comedian Basket Mouth and Bright Okpocha. But when we come back after this short interlude, we'll be talking about divorce. What is divorce all about? What is the impact of divorce on our society today? What are the causes of divorce? We'll get to find that out after this short interlude. Stay. It's still your Heart and Flick show on Glass FM.
Our goal is to create a society with moral and godly standards by using the influence of our well-built programs to pass the right message. Glass FM, your number one radio station.
Welcome back from that short musical interlude, and it's still your number one show on radio, your number one relationship show on radio, Hearts and Flicks. And what are we talking about today? We're talking about divorce. So I'll be giving you the definition of divorce. Divorce is the process of terminating a marriage or marital union. You heard me right. Divorce is the process of terminating a marriage or marital union. What are some of the statistics we have on divorce? 1. The average duration of a second marriage is 7.3 years for males and 6.8 years for women. This is according to divorce rates in second marriages. Second fact about divorce, the divorce statistic, is that Guatemala ranks the lowest in divorce rates around the world. Congratulations to Guatemala. That's actually a good that's a good thing. It's a notable thing. Next fact, the Philippines and the Vatican are the only two countries where divorce is illegal. I'll say that again. The Philippines and the Vatican are the only two countries where divorce is illegal. Next, 30 is the average age for couples that get divorced for the first time. Next is 1 in 3 divorces start with online affairs. Next, causes of divorce. We have too much conflict and incessant arguing. Too much conflict and incessant arguing. According to psychologist Dr. Howard Markman, how you handle conflict is the single most important predictor of whether your marriage will survive. Very true. How you handle your conflict determines how your marriage will survive. Are you going to have conflicts and things just lie the way they are without resolution? The truth is that marriage is not a bed of roses. You have to bear in mind that things are going to happen, situations are going to happen, and how you guys are going to treat those situations, how you guys are going to handle those situations is going to matter. How you guys are going to it's going to matter how your marriage is going to go for you guys in the future. It's going to really matter. Next is lack of commitment. A happy and healthy marriage requires commitment from both spouses. Unfortunately, it takes one spouse with a lack of commitment to relationship to doom the marriage. Very true. Once marriage becomes one-sided. Once one person is giving and the other is just receiving without giving, it becomes a problem. Once someone is just putting it all and someone is just taking it all in, it's really a problem. So lack of commitment is one of the causes of divorce. Next is infidelity and extramarital affairs. This for me is the most annoying of all. You told him or her I do. You told him or her till death do us part, and then what are you doing? You are cheating. You are womanizing. You are moving around, sleeping around. It's unfair. It's really unfair, and it's really bad that's one of the things that morally decaying our society. Is really pathetic. And then the next is lack of emotional and physical intimacy. When there's this emotional distance between a couple or couples is really bad. It's really bad because it gives room for the devil to operate. That's where I'm not saying cheating is good, but that's where several things begin to happen, because there's a space, there's a gap, and there's a bridge, and there. So lack of emotional and physical intimacy is one of the causes of divorce. One is communication between partners, and I always say this, not just marriage, anything where there's no proper communication, there's always a problem. You have to tell people how you feel. You can't just assume that everybody knows how you feel. You have to tell them, you have to say it, and not just say it in a way that might be deteriorating or damaging to that individual or your partner or your spouse. You have to say it in a way that you're still constructive of what you are saying. You have to say it the way it is. Yes, you feel bad, say it. You feel it doesn't go out, you say it, be free. We should create that room for the talking stage. Create that room for conversations. Not these days where we are having conversations and people are looking at their phones. Create real time for conversation. So communication problem is one of the reasons why people really divorce these days. Another is domestic violence, which is the most annoying. Why hit your partner as a punching bag? Why do that? Why do that? Why do that? And you claim you love him or her. You say it's anger. There's no anger of any sort that should make you hit your spouse. It's unprofessional. And then we have one spouse not carrying the weight in the marriage. This is one spouse not carrying the weight in the marriage. This is where you see the man providing everything in the home, the lady is doing nothing. Or the woman is providing everything in the home and the man is doing nothing to support. It can be really emotionally, physically, spiritually damaging to an individual. So this is one aspect, that one cause of marriage. Another is marrying too young. I'm amongst the people that doesn't really support that. In fact, according to a study from the University of Utah, it is suggested that the perfect age to marry is between 28 and 32. I'll say that again. According to a study by the University of Utah, it is suggested that the perfect age to get married is between 28 and 32. For me, I totally agree. It's the perfect age. Then you have become emotionally, spiritually, physically mature, mentally balanced to be able to handle marital affairs. So I've given you some of the statistics and some of those things that actually affect or causes of marriage. And now one thing I want to give you guys again when it comes to marriage is the impact of divorce on society. Sorry, I said marriage is divorce we're talking about. The impact of divorce on society. You should know that these things are also going to have a way of affecting our society. And I always tell people this. Look, for instance, let's take a look at this now. Our own dear Basket Mount has divorced, and believe me, a whole lot of people are looking up to Basket Mount. Now the thing is, my problem is, now Basket Mount is divorced after 12 years. Now he might have not divorced for the wrong reason. Maybe I'm sure he has every reason why he divorced. Now the problem is, he's an icon. He's someone that everyone is looking up to in society. The thing is, how are we going to make sure that the people who are looking up to us don't see divorce as something that should be a trend, as something that should be just let's do it, let's just do it. It's marriage, let's do it, we get out, we enter another marriage. How do we do it in a way that people know that you have to work for your home, you have to fight for your home, you have to work and fight for your marriage? Now let me give you some of the causes or effect of divorce in society. One is children become victims. Very true. Children become victims. Many sociologists believe that society is hoping to flourish and perpetuate most rare children many sociologists believe that society is hoping to flourish and perpetuate must rear children responsibly. In most functioning societies, an intact family helps children develop strong moral character. Now, divorce will have a way of affecting children. Why? When the parents are separate, a child needs that fatherly figure, a child needs that motherly figure. And when that fatherly figure becomes absent, it affects the child. When that motherly figure becomes absent, it affects the child. Sometimes people tell you single mothers are doing it, single fathers are doing it. They might be doing it, but believe me, there's still that need for a father. There's still that need for a mother. That's why God made them. That's why that's how God designed it, and I'm sure He designed it for a reason. There's something called the feminine brain and the masculine brain. I don't really have much details on that. Maybe if I had, I would have explained that for you. And sometimes you have to bring out that masculine nature, especially if it's a guy. You have to bring out that masculine and make him to use that masculine aspect of his brain. And there's several things. So the fatherly figure and the motherly figure is really, really needed in a child's life, especially a growing child, an infant child. A child needs guidance. But when there's divorce, it sets the wrong pace. It sets the wrong pace. In fact, I was reading somewhere they said children whose parents divorce early. Children whose parents divorce have the tendency of marrying early and also divorcing. So it's more or less like them repeating the same circle. That's the impact of divorce in society. And I always say this, it really pains me when I see it's mostly our celebrities that are actually doing this. For me, it's somehow sending the wrong pace. Now I know some of them, like I said, I'm not saying every divorce is bad, but let's try and see if we can make the society know that they need to value family, because another effect of divorce is the family system. The family system has now been so I don't know. A lot of people are so stepped on the family. People don't even value the family system now. The family system is not even before. The family system was one of the most authoritative structures in society, but now nobody values it, and that's part of the disadvantages of divorce. So I've given you the causes, I've given you the effects, and I'll give you some statistics here about divorce. And we also had a way of linking it to our dear boss, Bright Okocha, also known as Basket Mount. I think I've spoken a lot on the Heart and Flicks segment, on the relationship segment of the show. So I'll be coming up with the movie segment. We have a whole lot for you on the movie segment. I'll be playing the trailer of one movie that was released on the 23rd of December. It's actually a sequel. As a matter of fact, Netflix bought the rights. In fact, bought the film, they bought the rights of the film. So I'll tell you more about this film after this short interlude, after the trailer, and after, if possible, the soundtrack of the film is being played. So stay.
Crew, we've arrived. Disruptors, have assembled.
Welcome, gang. We got a great weekend.
Who's that?
Benoit Blanc, the detective?
Mr. Blanc, I cannot overstate my gratitude to be here. When's the murder mystery start?
I've invited you all to my island.
Hi.
Because tonight, a murder will be committed. My murder.
Once you're dead, will we still be able to talk to you?
Yeah, I'm not playing dead the whole weekend, dude.
This is truly delightful.
Across the island, I've hidden clues. You will have to closely observe each other. If anyone can name the killer, that person wins our game. Any questions?
Halle Berry, that has a kick.
Oh my God. What happened? Holy
Ladies and gentlemen, there's been a murder, and the killer is in plain sight. For at least one person, this is not a game. I must insist that nobody touch the body.
Jeez, detective, who killed the party?
I need to find a motive for murder.
Everyone would stab a friend in the back to hold on to this rich bastard.
Deal with it. You're all friends. Why would anyone commit murder?
Are we even going to talk about the elephant in the room?
Am I the elephant?
Yeah, you're the elephant.
You're not that bad.
Think of the danger here.
Are you calling me dangerous?
Well, we'll see.
Let it all out.
Hell yeah!
This is reckless. The killer wouldn't hesitate to kill again if it covers their tracks.
You must be really great at clue hunting.
I'm very bad at dumb things. Ticking boxes, running around, searching all the rooms. It's just a terrible, terrible game.
Welcome back, fam. That was the trailer of, and that was the soundtrack of, like I did this last week. So before I give you the name of the trailer and the soundtrack we played you, I want you to know that 2022 has come to an end. Yeah, it has come to an end, and not just an end, it also come to an end in the box office. Not as an end for the box office, but an end for the year 2022. And we have movies that have made it big in the year 2022. Number one on our list is Top Gun Maverick. You heard me right, Top Gun Maverick with over $1 billion. Next is Jurassic World with over $1 billion. And then next is Doctor Strange, and next is Minons, The Rise of Gru. And next is Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. These are the movies that have turned out very big in the year 2022. Now, I told you that I'm going to tell you about the trailer of the movie we played. What trailer of the movie we played? The Glass Onion. I'm sure a lot of you have heard about it. It came out on the 23rd of December. And what's The Glass Onion about? The Glass Onion is a sequel to the beautiful thriller, suspense-filled film Knives Out. I'm sure you're Knives Out by Rian Johnson. In fact, it's been called Rian Johnson's Knives Out. And what's Knives Out talking about? Knives Out is a mystery film written and directed by Rian Johnson and produced by Johnson and Ram Bergman. It's the sequel to the 2019 film Knives Out, with Daniel Craig reprising his role as master detective Benoit Blanc as he takes out a new case. And the movie was scored, that's the music score of the movie was done by Nathan Johnson. He was the one whose score we played for you at the break. That music score you heard, that's the theme song for The Glass Onion. It was done by Nathan Johnson. And then the production company entitled the film was T Street, and the film was distributed by Netflix. Now, I'd love you to know that Netflix bought the rights of this film for $450 million. I'm sure somebody's sitting right there and saying, what? Yes, $450 million. The Glass Onion the rights for the film was bought for $450 million by Netflix. And the movie also had some certain things that happened on set. Daniel Craig forgot his accent on set. He forgot his accent on set. He forgot his accent before the film before the film shoot. He forgot his accent before shooting, and I don't blame him for that. He's an actor. He's a very professional actor. Daniel Craig for me is one of the best actors on earth. And when I see him, I just the first thing that comes to my mind is James Bond. So he's that good. So that was Glass Onion movie that just played. And now next up, I'll be playing an insert by one of the biggest filmmakers on earth, the most patient. In fact, one of the most patient, let me not say the most patient filmmakers on earth. This is an insert from his film, him talking about his film. And I'll tell you about him and I'll tell you about the film after this insert. So enjoy.
When did you start actively thinking about a sequel?
You know, the truth be told, we didn't start actively thinking about it until 2012. So a full 2 years later.
Because to me, that's hysterical. The biggest film of all time, and you're thinking, does the world want another one?
No, we're thinking that we as individuals have other things in our lives we want to do. Jim, in particular, wanted to go to the Mariana Trench.
Bottom of the ocean.
That's right.
When in doubt, just do it all.
Right?
That's always been my philosophy. Let's see, Deep Ocean Explorer. Uh-oh, that's not good. Movie director. You know, why choose? You know, do I have to choose?
Just do it all.
What took us long? Number one, the principle of doing something right. Number two, the fact that we decided to do 4 sequels and not 1. So we needed to write 4 scripts. That took time.
Writing a script before you shoot a movie?
Why do blueprints before you build a house?
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
I know one thing. It takes months out of your life. This took a year and a half, this one.
Oh, more than that. We started conversations with about 2013.
Wow.
Me and Zoe still did some performance capture this year. And Jim only locked the movie off a couple of days ago.
I mean, what we did was initially is we went out into the ocean so that they could go down and you know, just interact with the coral reef and see the wonders for themselves and then have it in their minds later. But we also went out into the ocean with functional mock-ups of the creatures that could actually fly and dive and do hydrobatics underwater and all the things that they do in the movie. And it sounds impossible, but we did it with water jet propulsion. So I don't know if you've ever seen these at resorts. They have these guys that go up in these platforms and they fly around 25 feet up and they do flips and things like that. We took that technology, developed it further, and made a 4-jet version of a skim wing. And the skim wing could go 20 miles an hour underwater, pop out of the water, fly around, and then dive back in. And then we put people on it just to see what would happen, right? Because that's my whole approach to life. Let's just see what happens, right? What's the worst that could happen?
Ladies and gentlemen, that was no other than James Cameron himself talking about his movie Avatar: The Way of the Water. You heard what he spoke about, the performance capture, how the movie was done underwater, how long it took them to shoot the movie. James Cameron is just too good. James Cameron is just too good. Anywhere you are, please, James Cameron deserves a salute. He's too good. He took a lot of time making this film, and I listened to that interview. That insert I played for you was actually about 12 minutes, and it was on BBC One. So you can check out BBC One. You see the full interview about the Avatar: The Way of the Water. Now, this moves me to the biggest movies of 2022. So BBC did their list, this according to the BBC, about the biggest movies of 2022. Some people will agree. And on their list, number 1 is Everything Everywhere. I spoke about that movie, Everything Everywhere All at Once, is number 1. And then next is Top Gun Maverick. These are movies that actually you need to check out. And they really spent a whole lot of time making these films. And the story, the cinematography, the music was just so definitely. And next is Turning Red. If you've not watched Turning Red, I don't know what you're doing. Turning Red is, for me, is one of the best animations, if not the best animation of 2022. So 2022 was a very huge year in the world of film. It was a very huge year. I can remember last 2 years, the number one movie on grossing in the box office was a Chinese film, Battle of Lake Changjin. And now we're having Top Gun Maverick ending the year, closing the year of 2022. Ladies and gentlemen, this is all I have for you on the Heart and Flicks show. Hoping that next year, 2023, is going to be a bigger year for the Heart and Flicks show. We're going to do better in terms of show delivery, production. We're going to do better. It's a better year not just for Glass FM, but for everyone listening to Glass FM and also listening, to be precise, to the Heart and Flicks show. So before I go, I'm going to give you our social media handles. On Facebook is Glass FM, on Twitter is Glass_FM, on Instagram is a Glass FM radio station, or you want to call us is +234 81 288 03452. I'll take time to call that, +234 81 288 03452. So this is all we have for you on the Heart and Flicks show. This is the crossover show of Glass FM, taking you to 2023. And who is waiting for you in 2023? No other than our dear Rockatena Weng with the show Gospel Notes at 8 p.m. on Sunday. So, ladies and gentlemen, tune in to Glass FM tomorrow. The whole Rockatena will be here with you to take you around the world of music. I am still K to the E to the LLY, Kelly the Psalmist, signing out. See you next week Saturday. Bye-bye. I move.
Glass FM, your #1 radio station.